So let's talk about Jupiter for a minute. Like I just said a moment ago, Jupiter is this god of expansion. And in human design, we generally think of Jupiter as our blessings, right? And generally we think of Jupiter as being auspicious energy. But let's also remember that Jupiter can be prone to excess because it just kind of expands, right? That's its energy as it expands. So we like it when it expands our vitality or expands our prosperity or expands our reputation in a positive way, or, right, it expands our resources. It expands our love and our heart energy. We love it when it expands all those things, right? But when it expands our tendency to excess, which is maybe eating too much or drinking too much or even spending too much time binge watching television, right? It can expand those things as well. So we want to work with Jupiter in a positive way and recognize that Jupiter is an ally. All of the planets, all of these are allies for us, but we also need to be smart about it and we need to be aware. And the more aware we can do that, then we can dance with these gods, right? I love what Caroline Casey, she has a book called Making the Gods Work for You, right? Which is, how do we dance with the gods? How do we have friends with them? So like I said, just watching out for also how Jupiter can be expanding your excess in ways that you don't want to, but also Jupiter can be expanding what you, really what you desire. So let's dig into this just a little bit more. So during this time, Jupiter is in the gate 45. Jupiter's been in the gate 45. Jupiter's going to be in the gate 45 through early December. And so we really want to be looking at Jupiter in this gate 45 and to be thinking about what does this mean for us? Now, let's go ahead and dial this in terms of this first transit that's happening in October. Because like I said, we have Jupiter over here in the 45, and then the 21 is going to be lit up by the Earth. And so we're going to have this whole channel. So I was talking just a few minutes ago about that we're going to have all these channels and we're going to have all these centers that are lit up. So you can see here that the throat is lit up and the will center is lit up because of that 45-21 that's happening. So the 45 is known in traditional human design as the king gate or the queen gate or the monarch or the sovereign. So this is kind of a feudal definition, right, of royalty. But in our more contemporary times, we can translate this into sovereign energy. Now, in its most empowered and awakened state, the sovereign energy is benevolent, it's regal, it's generous, and it's about distributing resources for the highest good of all. This is the leadership energy in the tribal circuit. And so we want this to be an energy where we are really thinking about what's best for everyone. How can we participate in making sure people have what they need? How can we be participating in the distribution of resources? The 21 is really about managing resources of all kinds, including self-management, which is what it's been renamed in quantum human design. But that 21 is really kind of about calculating, bringing together resources, making sure that we all have the resources that we need. And then that 45 is more about distributing them. So if we think about Jupiter being here in this 45, we want to be paying attention to how are we embodying and expressing the energy of that 45 during this pretty long transit that Jupiter is in the 45. And now it's going to be extra highlighted during this first week really of October. And so it's important to know that the shadow of the 45 is authoritarianism. Okay. It's this kind of top-down authority. And it is this power over strategy, and its disempowered energy is feeling like you're at the mercy of authoritarian energy, right? That you're being controlled and manipulated by outside forces. And so all of these different interpretations of that gate 45 are available right now, and Jupiter will expand. So this is one of the things that's important to really get. Jupiter will expand whatever your expression of the 45 is. So if you've been more in a disempowered state, feeling like there's authoritarian energy that is trying to control and manipulate you, it will expand that. If you've been using power over strategies, either consciously or unconsciously, to try to control and manipulate things outside of yourself so that you can feel more safe and you can bring more and more resources to yourself and you can kind of hoard them in, that'll expand that. But it'll also expand your sense that we have plenty of resources. We have enough for everyone. We can be generous with what we have. We just need to take a look at how things are distributed. And are we bringing them all into the collective good and then seeing how they can be distributed in ways that are equitable, right? Which is an aspect of the new world that we're really calling in, right? We're wanting to unravel this power over way of being that has led to the concentration of wealth in the hands of a very few number of people. And it's just getting more and more extreme, right? And so this whole alignment is potentially challenging that. And we are also in this time where, just to throw in here, Pluto's in Capricorn, and Pluto is saying, what are we letting go of the old world, right? What are we letting go of the old order? And so Pluto is an ally for you here. If you've been feeling like you're at the mercy of these authoritarian forces, or if you've been unconsciously even acting out, trying to, kind of hoard and gather things to yourself and being kind of controlling and manipulative, which any of us can fall into when we fall into fear. Okay, absolutely. Any of us can do that. And unfortunately, we've been trained to do that to a large degree. So just know that if you've done that, it's not necessarily your fault. But knowing this, it is your responsibility and your opportunity to change it, to step into a way of being that is more regal, right? That is more benevolent, that is more compassionate and kind and generous. Because the truth is there are enough resources on the planet for everyone. It's just the way that they're distributed. So this is one of the things that Jupiter is just going, okay, how are you embodying and expressing this energy? And it'll be super lit up even more while this particular channel is going on here. Now, in traditional human design, this channel is known as the money line, right? Because it is about money, but it's not just about money. It's also about energy. It's about opportunity. It's about even things like air, water, and land, because these are all, we think about them as resources. But the truth is they're not resources for certain people in the world to hoard and decide who gets them. At least this is my point of view, right? They are something that is the birthright of every person here, and also the birthright of all of the other species. And so we as a humanity really need to disrupt this idea that this is just about money, right? And about profit-driven forces being able to use the resources of the planet the way that they want to, and to recognize that the resources of the planet are for everyone, right? It's like there's no other species on the planet that has decided it's okay to pollute the communal air supply or the communal water supply or the communal soil, right? So this is one of those, like, we need to wake up, right? We need to really wake up to this and be like, okay, what can we do about it? What can we do about it? And so my invitation for you, especially during this time, during this first week of October, this is our first transit, is for you to be looking at, how can I participate in shifting our perspective and our energy around resources, shifting it away from thinking of it as the money line to think of it as it's all about distribution. It's about gathering and distributing resources in a way that is more equitable, that'll support really, all of us on the planet, including the trees, all the animals, the slithering ones, the winged ones, the two-leggeds, the four-leggeds, and the eight-leggeds, and so on. Okay, so that's Jupiter. Big opportunity for us. And for those of us in the United States, notice that Jupiter is going to be in that 45 all the way through our presidential election. So Jupiter is going to be saying to us, what kind of energy are you supporting, right? Are you supporting authoritarianism? Are you supporting more benevolence and compassion, and that there is enough for all?